Hey everybody, welcome back to another video from Somm Wine Club. I'm Sean, and what I've got for you today is the 2021 Martino Gallardía Cinsault from Itata in southern Chile. Now I featured a wine from Martino a few months ago, their estate Carmenere, so I've kind of shown you guys a little bit about Martino, but I want to talk about a different aspect of their story. With that recap, Martino, founded in 1934, they are the first winery to put Carmenere on a label. So before the kind of mid to late 90s, they thought Carmenere was Merlot, and nobody really knew what it was. They thought it was just weird. So after the genetic identification of Carmenere, Martino was the first winery to put Carmenere as a grape variety on the label. So that's kind of one of their claim to fame. But also for 4 generations, they've just been making incredible, expressive Chilean wine. Including their Gallardía series, which is a project that focuses on Itata in the south, kind of away from the more commercial areas of Chile in Maipo and Colchagua, but a absolutely stunning region that's considered to be kind of the cradle or the birthplace of the Chilean wine industry. There's records of vineyards planted all the way back to the mid 16th century. So a lot of history here, but not a lot of commercialization. It's very rustic, it's very country, there's very little paved roads, it's everything's done by hand, there's no big wineries or shiny winery buildings, it's just about the land and the place. And that's what Marcelo Retamal and Marco De Martino, the winery's current owner, wanted to focus on with the Gallardía labels. So they make a Cinsault and they make a Rosé in the same tier, both delicious. And I've had the Cinsault Rosé actually in Chile when I got stuck in Santiago by accident. So another story. Let's talk about Cinsault as a grape variety. So originally a Rhone grape variety and south of France, planted kind of in the Languedoc and southern Rhone as a blending variety, has long roots in southern Chile as it was brought over by Spanish colonists and French colonists in the 1500s, planted, and for a long time these vineyards were just kind of abandoned, forgotten about, not really utilized. And so there's a whole wave of new producers, young producers, that are really trying to reinvigorate these old vines, these sometimes 100-year-old old vines. And so a lot of them are ungrafted. They're planted on their own rootstock, like this one is. So just using the native North European rootstock rather than being grafted onto North American rootstock to protect against phylloxera. There is phylloxera in South America, but not in Chile. Or if it is in Chile, it's in very, very, very small quantities, mostly because of its geographic isolation. So they can do these kinds of things, keep them planted on their own rootstock and not have to worry about the plants succumbing to phylloxera. That gives the whole plant a chance to be connected to its environment. They're also doing everything organically here. They're dry farming, there's no irrigation, they're using horses to plow the vineyard so that they're not kind of mashing up the soil and compacting it with tractors. And the result is a stunning, elegant, refreshing, vibrant, and really, really delicious Cinsault that I think expresses the terroir of southern Chile really, really well. So it's, for those of you that aren't aware of the character, depending on how you produce it, it can kind of be a little bit like spicy Pinot Noir. It's got some tangy red fruit character. There's like raspberry, red cherry, cranberry even, like a little bit of this almost sour, tart red fruit. There's a little bit of a, like, I don't know how to describe spicy earth. It smells a little bit like rocks, but it has like a pepperiness to it as well. Like someone's mashing peppercorns in a mortar and pestle. That's like the best way that I can describe spicy rocks. There's florality to it. It's like rose petals and violets, and like slightly dried floral, like someone's made potpourri, but without any of the like really intense aromatic sweetness to it. a little bit of herbaceousness too, dried kind of sage, brush, dusty earth, and dried herbs. Yeah, they're not using any new oak here. This is done wild ferment and then stainless steel and large oak puncheons, really allowing that fruit of the Cinsault to kind of shine and express itself without being interfered with by oak character. The wine is zesty and fresh and bright. It's not heavy by any stretch, but it does have concentration of flavor. There is a lingering fruitiness to this wine, which you almost don't expect when you smell it because you think it's going to be just all lean, all tart, all tangy, but the finish of it leaves this kind of subtle fruitiness, like the feeling that you have in your mouth after you like swallowed a really lovely ripe cherry. You just get that kind of fructose sweetness, and it's not actually sugar. There's no sugar left in this wine. It's fermented totally to dry, but the character of the fruit is such that it has the expression of that fruit. There's tannins, but they're very soft, very silky. They're on the low side of medium. So there's potential here to do this with some fat. You can use that little bit of tannin to kind of soak up some of the fat and the protein. But it also has great acidity and freshness. So it's going to help to cut and break down anything that you want to throw at it. I love using unique wines like this for complex meals, and what's more complex over the holiday season than if your family's a turkey dinner family? Like, there's so many things on the table that you need a wine that has flexibility, has freshness, has complex flavors, has a liveliness and a youthfulness to cut through fat of gravies and potatoes and butter and roasted vegetables, and then take down the protein of turkeys or sausage or anything else that you're putting on the table, ham, and then you get all of these sweet elements, sweet potatoes, cranberries, other things that can be used as glazes, and that adds another level of complexity to the whole meal, and you need something that can match that, and this does that really, really well. And it's delicious, and it has a great story. Like I said, De Martino doing a really great job of trying to focus in on preserving these old vine vineyards and doing it in a way that is respectful to the native indigenous peoples of the area and the history of this place. Like I said, you can't have a Chilean wine industry without Itata, and De Martino knows that. And so I think it's spectacular that they're choosing to have this line separate from the others so that you can really kind of hone in and understand how important this region is to Chile and how much it's growing with that infusion of young energy into kind of making wines that people can appreciate. Mm. Mm-mm. Ah, it's a happy wine. Thanks very much for watching this video about the De Martino Gallardía. I hope you enjoy. If you have a box from Somm Wine Club, I hope that you enjoy the wine. Let me know what you think about the wine in the comments if you've had it before, and I will look forward to sharing more wines from Chile and from southern Chile, because it's one of my favorite countries. So thank you all again very much. Have a great day.